Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Michael. Welcome back. If you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We have a very exciting video today. We actually have our first look at iOS 13. So these images come from 9to5Mac. Of course they come from 9to5Mac. 9to5Mac has been extremely reliable in the past, and they have gotten a lot of exclusive leaks that not many other companies have gotten. So props to 9to5Mac for getting these images, and a lot of props go to the writer Guy Rambo, who is a fantastic iOS developer, and he's actually responsible for communicating with someone on the inside who is able to get these screenshots of iOS 13. So we're going to take a look at the first screenshot here, and I extracted this from Google Chrome, and the name of the image was iOS 13 dark mode. So the purpose of these three screenshots together are showcasing dark mode. So the first iPhone on the left hand side is showing dark mode on the home screen, which really doesn't show much change except for the dock. Now this is actually okay because this is an inside build of iOS 13, and there actually may be real changes coming to iOS 13 that we might not see on the surface. And the reason they do this is because people that work at Apple are using these phones out in the real world, and they don't want to show off iOS 13 to someone who isn't supposed to see it. So what they do is they put these pre-release builds of iOS 13 on their phones, and they have some of the features, but they kind of cover it up with what looks like iOS 12. So I hope that makes sense. He did confirm this on Twitter. Guy Rambo did confirm this, that iOS 13 still may have more improvements such as icon changes and other UI tweaks that we just aren't seeing in these screenshots. This next one is showing the music application. It is on the radio section. So it looks like here the dark mode is going to be all black, which I really love. On the Mac right now, the dark mode is actually a dark gray. So I was expecting Apple to do something different. It is smart that they're doing this because a dark mode that is all black is going to save a lot of battery on iPhone 10 models with the OLED display, so that is nice. And the third screenshot all the way to the right here is showing what happens when you actually take a screenshot on your phone. And this is when dark mode is enabled, because as you can see, the tools on the bottom here and the tab up top are all dark. So it kind of darkens your wallpaper, and it's a really nice dark shade over everything. And it looks like these tools have also been changed, and we do have another screenshot of these tools. In this case, it's for the iPad. So I'm going to switch to that image now, and as you can see, the tools look a bit more realistic than iOS 12. And this is where I start to get excited. I think this is one of the sections, or this is one of the UI elements that Apple actually chose not to cover up with software, because as I said, people are using these phones out in public and they don't want to show off much of the changed UI. I think this is one of the UI elements that Apple actually didn't change, because you can see that the tools there look really realistic. And we were hearing rumors that iOS 13 may be getting a whole bunch of UI changes that make it a bit more skeuomorphic, kind of like the old iOS 5 and iOS 6 days. So hopefully this can point towards that. And this is just a quick look at the little toolbar after you take a screenshot. There's going to be a lot more detail in a lot more sections of the OS. So moving on, here is the Reminders app, and this is the Reminders app for the iPad Pro. So we don't actually have a screenshot of it for the iPhone, but we can get pretty much the same idea. So it looks like we have 4 tabs in the Reminders app: Today, Scheduled, All, and Flag. And I'd say the number one feature that the Reminders app actually needed since iOS 7 is a simple button where you can click Add Reminder. Because if you go in the Reminders application right now, there actually isn't a button that lets you add a reminder. You just have to guess what the UI does, and there's a little plus button, but it doesn't actually say create a new reminder. So thank you, Apple. It's been a long time in the making for such a small feature. But the Reminders app definitely does look nice. I like the color scheme, and it just makes the UI look a lot nicer. And finally, in this whole exciting time of iOS 13 leaks, we have one more very low resolution screenshot of a brand new application called Find My. And it's not a brand new application per se, it's actually just an extension of Find My iPhone, but Apple does want to draw your attention to it because it is technically new. And we are hearing rumors that Apple may be releasing a very similar product to the Tile GPS locator, and you can place it on any product you you own, and then you can track it inside the Find My application. So hopefully we can see that released at WWDC, and then the Find My application will of course make sense. But guys, that is pretty much it for this huge iOS 13 leak. Go ahead and tell me in the comments if you are excited. Like I said, don't get disappointed that you don't see any changes on the surface here, because I can guarantee there are going to be some icon changes and some UI changes in iOS 13, and also a new wallpaper. I didn't even mention that, but the screenshots all have the iOS 12 wallpaper. That's all just because Apple wants to hide iOS 13 from the public, because like I said, people that work at Apple are taking these phones out and using it in the real world. So don't get disappointed. These are just a very small section of screenshots that are showing off dark mode, and like I said, the little tools here, and also the new reminders app. So there's going to be a lot more. So there's going to be a lot more in iOS 13, and you should definitely still be excited. So drop a like on this video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael, and I'll see you in the next one.